because that always comes in. Yes, I'm working on the next Dresden, and it'll be done eventually. I'm supposed to turn it in on Christmas. If I can get that done in time, it should be out sometime in the spring. So. Okay, now that that is out of the way. Questions, because I'm bad at speaking, but I'm okay at answering questions. So right here.
So, I'm not exactly sure where you said this, but you mentioned in the past that your Apocalyptic trilogy at the end of the Dresden Files would be named after the curses said by Harry and some of the other characters, that being Hell's Bells, Stars and Stones, and Empty Nights. Would you be willing to tell us the order of those books?
Let's see, did you say it in the right order? You did, yeah. That's done. Okay, great. Easy. Oh, I love this. Yeah, right here.
Hi. So I noticed that in the RPG books, the Jade Court of the vampires is mentioned. Are they going to be more prominent in the coming books, or are they just kind of RPG plot?
They're mostly RPG. The Jade Court is a isolationist society. And they're mostly confined to China. Actually, they're isolationist enough that they're really not sure if this China thing is going to work out. They're still sort of relying on Qin as it is. But they live in the Yangtze River Valley and they rarely leave. But we might see one of their agents before it's all said and done.
So would you be willing to tell us what they feed on?
No, I won't.
Thank you much.
Very well. Right here.
If Ebenezer were to find out that Thomas is his grandson, what would their meeting be like?
If Ebenezer was to find out if Thomas was his grandson, what would their meeting be like? You'll have to read the next book and see.
Can you tell us anything about the next book in the Cinder Spires?
Can I tell you anything about the next book in the Cinder Spires? It's called The Olympian Affair, and our dear heroes are sent off to Spire Olympia, where essentially Aurora and Albion are jockeying for position in terms of alliances with the other spires. So there's essentially going to be a convocation of representatives of several spires, and they're going to be there to try and win as much support as they possibly can. And I'm sure it will go very well, and the Spire Aurora will back down, and everybody will sing songs. Right here.
I was wondering if you can talk about how some of these practices in magic comes into your own life. Do you have altars around? Do you do offerings for the fairies?
How does practices of magic come into my own life? Do I leave altars around or order pizza for the fairies? No, I order the pizza for me from time to time. I ordered pizza for me and my dog for a while, but I lost him here a couple weeks ago. I know, right? He was mighty. Missouri Pit Bull Rescue, who I support and have supported quite a bit over the years, declared him an honorary pit bull. So, you know, I never had to tell him he was a Bichon Frise. As far as that goes, though, not a lot. It's not part of my personal belief. It's something that I work on with other people, and I know a bunch of my good friends a couple of my good friends are Wiccans, and they're the kind of people that would just do whatever religion that they decided to devote themselves to proud, you know. So it was actually meeting them that made me have to reevaluate what I think about a lot of things, you know. So I was raised very, very conservatively. So it was interesting to learn new things. Learning new things is hard. But
Thank you.
yeah, sure. Here at the back.
I've been curious, after the Dresden Files series, have you considered movies?
After the Dresden Files series, have I considered movies? Well, you know, I would have to lose a lot of weight to act, and you know, that kind of thing. I'd be happy for it to do that. The Dresden Files, the rights for that are with a major production company right now. I can't tell you who, but everybody here has probably seen their movies. I don't know if that means anything's going to happen or not. It might not. It's Hollywood, so you never know. But it could happen. Honestly, in my dream world, we get the rights to somebody who does a feature production series on Netflix. Yeah, right. Netflix is awesome because they're not driven by the same motivators as most of the TV studios. They don't necessarily need to have a huge audience after season 1, and they're willing to invest a little bit more time in things to make it happen. So that would be my favorite. That would be my favorite. We'll see if it happens. I don't know if it will or not. Who knows? Right here.
I want to know if there are any particular favorite authors or books that really inspired you. What are your favorites?
Are there any particular favorite authors or books that inspired me, and what are my favorites? Okay, this is one of those questions that I get asked, and I answer, and then I realize later that I've forgotten somebody. So I'm going to answer this question, and then I'm going to randomly spout the name of authors as they occur to me that I've forgotten. So you'll all understand why that's happening. Let's see. Sanderson's really good. He does awesome and epic really well, and I enjoy the hell out of that. Let me think. Naomi Novik, the Temeraire series. Benedict Jacka's Alex Vera's novels. I've been reading Brian McClellan's Powder Mage series. I've started that one. That's pretty good too. Let me think who else. Early Laurel Hamilton was a huge inspiration. Plus Laurel's just awesome. Let me think, who else have I been reading lately? Oh no, brain, why are you doing this to me? Robert B. Parker is probably my favorite author. And if I could be anybody, if I would have anybody who was like my hero as an author, it would be Robert B. Parker. He even died at the keyboard. It's like, yeah, that's a man. That's if you got to go. Okay, that's all I can remember right now, but we'll get back to it, and I'll spout random names as we go along. Yeah, right here.
Who would be your dream actor to portray Harry?
Who would be my dream actor
You could have
to portray Harry if I could have anybody?
Anybody.
I don't know. There's a lot of different people who I think could do the role really well. I've always said I thought Will Smith would be an awesome Harry because he's just so completely lippy to absolutely anyone. And that's really kind of Harry's defining characteristic. I'd be happy with Hiddleston. Hiddleston could do it. The Hiddles, he'd be fine. Although what I'd really like to see would be who's the guy who played Magneto in the new? Yeah, Fassbender. After that scene in the bar with the two ex-Nazis and the knife, I'm like, yeah, he could be Harry Dresden, and then we could have Hiddles play Thomas. That'd be fine. That'd be okay. Get it.
Do you have any one-off novels that you're kind of kicking around in your head that you want to do just one?
Do I have any one-off novels? I keep trying them, and they turn into series. This entire Cinder Spires thing all came from the question of me trying to answer the question, why goggles? And it just got totally out of hand. Got like a 9-book series coming out of that if I get to write the whole thing. They bought the first 3, we'll see if the rest of it goes, but yeah.
Are you planning on alternating Cinder Spires and Dresden, like one every other?
Am I planning on alternating Cinder Spires and Dresden? Yeah, that's the plan, and the plan is to do one every 6 months. My writing, I've done that before a lot. I mean, but my personal life's been something of a roller coaster this year, so I'm a little bit behind the schedule where I'd like to be, but hopefully I'll be settling down, and I'm moving to a new place in the spring, and so once I get there, hopefully I'll be able to establish a nice solid pattern and a rhythm, and that's what I need to really get lots of work done. Plus less travel, because travel is just so disruptive to the writing. But yeah, light blue shirt.
Are we ever going to hear any more of Alera?
Are we ever going to get more Alera?
Like 100 years later?
Possibly. We might. It'd be like 150 years later. We might at some point, but I've got so many stories I want to tell. I actually calculated it once, and working at 2 books a year, I'll need to live to be 128 to write them all. And I keep thinking of new ones. So you biomed people out there, hop on that biological immortality thing. We're closer than you think. So,
Just need it for
yeah,
this brain.
glasses.
One of the, in book Cold Days, where Lacuna's kind of freaking about how the fairies are eating pizza, what was her deal?
What was Lacuna's deal?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you. You'll be able to see later. You'll be able to see who she is later. I kind of built who she is in the name, but at the very back with the beard.
When Harry was taken to the stone table with Leah, and she told him never let Matt take you there, was that Nemesis influencing her to tell Harry that because he didn't want Harry to become the winner?
Yeah, the answer to that question would really settle a lot of things, wouldn't it? But not fun. Over here, that.
I was just wondering, what are your top books that you're reading right now? Top favorite books that you're reading?
Okay, what am I reading right now?
Yes.
I just finished Tribal Bigfoot by David Colitis, which is a story of case studies of Bigfoot sightings and encounters connected to Native American locations. I'm in the middle of one of the first of the 411 books by David Colitis. That's my nonfiction reading right now, because I've been fascinated with Bigfoot since I was a tiny child and had recurring nightmares about it living in the lilac bush behind my house. For fiction, I'm in the middle of Brian McClellan's first Powder Mage book and reading through that on my way. And I've got a couple of writers that I'm working with who aren't published yet, and I've been reading their scripts and trying to help them get things shaped up for the professional market. So that's what I've been reading lately. Right here.
Aside from the fire spells, which are pretty obvious, I'm curious where you draw inspiration for spell names for the various characters.
For spell names?
Yes.
Oh,
They just come out of your
well,
head?
basically all the wizards, they have to use words to insulate themselves from magic, and so they pick words in languages they can't think in. So first of all, I have to figure out what language they're using to do their spells in, and then I just pick a word that is sort of quasi-appropriate. I grab a dictionary, or I get online onto an English to whatever dictionary, and find a word that seems reasonable. Like light, something that means lightning for a lightning bolt, like that. But I don't put a whole ton of thought into that. It's just that's kind of for flavor. So, yeah, right here.
One of the things that's particularly interesting about the Harry Dresden Mysteries is that he explains things a lot. In most of the books that deal with magic, nobody ever explains what this stuff is supposed to do. I mean, like, how does this ring work, kind of. But there's this constant explanation. I'm wondering what